Hello everyone, Beate here and welcome back to Getting to Know Fibres and Fabrics Season 1. Today we are looking at silk. We get silk from a silkworm's cocoon. As a child, we had our own silkworms and my cousins had a mulberry tree, and that is the leaves that the silkworms eat. So we had our own little silkworm farm and watched them spin their little cocoons, moths coming out, and then the whole cycle obviously just continues. So it is quite a fond memory to think of silkworms and silk in a childlike sense. Again, like some of the other fabrics that we've dealt with so far, silk is an extremely old fabric or fiber that we've been using and trading with for thousands of years. I have some great resources linked down below, but I will also read you a bit. The Silk Road derives its name from the lucrative trade in silk. It was this trade that made it possible for people in places located far away from any silk cultivation and silk weaving to wear it and use silk. The Silk Road was important because it helped to generate trade and commerce between a number of different kingdoms and empires. This helped for ideas, cultures, inventions, and unique products to spread across much of the settled world. Silk, the material, is so soft it became an adjective. People use the word silk or silky to describe different textures of other objects or even food. Let's quickly talk through how silk fabric is being made. So after a silkworm spun itself into its cocoon, obviously with the silkworm being inside of the cocoon, these cocoons get put into boiling water. The silkworms die and small little fibers of the cocoon, usually quite gently, is being pulled from the cocoon and the cocoon almost gets unspun. These fibers then get cleaned by going through boiling water, it gets dyed again and then spun into the silk fabric that we use as human beings. There is a more ethical way of producing silk, and it is to let the moth escape the cocoon when it is time for the moth to escape the cocoon. The cocoon is then taken and basically pulled apart in a similar but different way, because obviously you have a hole, which means the fibers are broken. People don't prefer it because the shorter the fiber, the more difficult it is to actually create a fabric from it. But that is a great alternative to the traditional silk, and there's a few different names, but it's also called piece silk as almost like a blanket type of term. Let's look at some examples of silk. First of all, I have this silk scarf. I bought it at Liberty London, which is a beautiful store, and if you ever get the chance of going to London, I would highly recommend going there. You can see that this fabric has a beautiful print. It is non-stretchy and it's quite thick and not see-through at all. I'll bring it up close so you can see. You can see that it is very soft, it's very silky, of course, and beautiful color and a beautiful texture. This is another beautiful scarf. I use this to tie around my head. I use it to accessorize my handbags. You can even tie it around your wrist. And there's plenty of different ways to tie it and fold it and make it look beautiful in everyday clothing. It's not see-through, and again we have a beautiful print, beautiful colors, and it's quite, I would say, on the thicker side of the different silks that one could get. Another silk scarf, but this one is definitely see-through. You can see me through the fabric. This one you would definitely need to be a bit more gentle with because it could easily hook on things, and you don't want that to happen, of course. This is a raw silk dress that I made a couple of years ago, and you'll see that the texture is definitely different to the ones that I just showed. It's got a rougher finish, if I can call it that, and it is called raw silk. Raw silk is also made in the exact same way, but it goes through less cleaning processes than the other ones that I just showed you to get like a smoother texture. So yeah, you'll get more of a rougher texture in this silk item. The general pros of silk. We can get two different textures out of silk, one being an extremely smooth surface, or then the other, the raw silk that I've shown in the purple dress. It's got a beautiful natural sheen texture to it. It is extremely lightweight and it is great for draping. Draping, think about beautiful long ball gowns and things like that. It means that the fabric just falls very well against the human body. It is non-irritating, so it's great for sensitive skin. It is flame resistant, which is quite interesting. It's got antibacterial properties and it's got an extremely long lifespan when you take good care of your silk items. The cons. It is an expensive fabric. Special care is required. Again, I would say try and be careful when wearing it. Don't sit against very rough edges and rough textures such as wood or stones and things like that, because you don't want it to get damaged at all. And you also need to wash it in a very gentle manner with special soap. It is not very durable. Again, think about royals wearing silk. You don't do heavy duty work in it at all. Also, there is plenty of fake versions in the market, so if you would like to check whether an item is 100% silk, check that little label inside that I've shown you in the introduction video. The environmental pros. It is 100% biodegradable, which is great for our planet. It dyes very easily, therefore it absorbs color very well. Cons. Silkworms are most likely killed in the process of producing silk fabric, but as mentioned, we do have an alternative of that called piece silk. That is all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up and I'll be back here tomorrow. Bye everyone.